Hello, ICICLE friends. It's Shubhi Sinha again with Indiana University. I'm back with more tips on AI ethics. Today's topic accountability. What are some tips for bringing accountability to ICICLE, you may ask? Well, let's dive right in to find out. Let's talk about accountability and what it means to democratize AI. So, we've talked about trustworthiness and how unintended consequences can arise from AI development and from cyber infrastructure itself, potentially creating inequities in society. We work in groups on developing ICICLE products and deploy them across space and time, despite categories and identities being unsettled across different contexts. How, in the end, do trust markers like check marks emerge? And how will end users be able to gauge the trustworthiness of ICICLE? We need mechanisms to validate the system's trustworthiness. Accountability provides these mechanisms. Moreover, accountability gives traceability to trustworthiness. This doesn't just happen on its own. Accountability mechanisms need to be built. Developing AI and CI involves governance, education, testing, and reporting. And as we've talked about, all of that requires documentation so that processes are traceable. These measures are essential. Since ethical implications can arise at any stage of development and deployment, and since a breach in any link can undermine trustworthiness of the entire system, accountability needs to be a systemic effort. A systemic approach also addresses the serious accountability gap that can result from siloing or carelessness. Helen Nissenbaum wrote, quote, "The absence of accountability means that no one answers for harms and risks," end quote. They are considered to be a matter of course in technology development. Nissenbaum further elaborates that professionals taking accountability signifies high-quality work and encourages diligence and responsibility. Where lines of accountability are maintained, accountability provides the foundations for just punishment as well as compensation for victims. The price of harms, bias, and risks posed by AI systems needs to be felt by those who develop those systems. Bringing ethics into people's day jobs acts as a strong incentive for accountability. A benefit of machine learning is that training can be unsupervised, and a frequently cited goal of AI development is that easy-to-use systems can put AI into anyone's hands. When competitors race for power and market share, they often prioritize development and ignore oversight. Notable examples include autonomous weapon systems, self-driving technologies, and generative AI. This puts technologies that are at times insufficiently supervised into the hands of non-experts. So what do we do about these systemic issues, you ask? So here you go. Here are our tips for increasing accountability. First, determine what is required for accountability. If the reporting needs are complicated, seek counsel in specifying them. And it's not enough to have reporting and documentation requirements. Team members must fill them out in earnest. And remember, professionals answering for their work signals responsibility and trustworthiness. Tip number 2 is related. To guide the systemic implementation of ethical principles, appoint a person or group to bring ethical concerns into the leadership team. The ethics leaders, along with the leadership, should have the authority to establish incentives to, quote, bring ethics into developers' day jobs. Third, and this is for everyone in the AI workforce, act like there is a cost to your work, even if no one is keeping score. That means developing a habit of recognizing that your work will affect individuals and society. As we build a model of CI and AI that is centered on ethics, we've now added some tips for advancing accountability. First was to determine and implement reporting and documentation requirements for accountability. Second was to bring ethics governance into the leadership team. Third, and you've all heard this before if you followed the other ethics tips, is to adopt a mindset of personal accountability in your work. Well, that'll be all for today, ICICLE friends. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.